Okay, let's go.
Hey, welcome to Redefining Risk. I am Wamaka. So a few weeks ago, I made a video called "That Loan Wasn't the Problem, Your Reason Was." And wow, the comment, the feedback, uh, people were like, okay, so how do I know if my reason is good? What's the difference between a smart loan, a dump loan, right? Wamaka, just tell me, should I take this loan right now or should I not take this loan right now? I wish I could tell you that yes, take this loan, no, don't take this loan. But it's not that simple because I have seen people or someone take a 5 million naira loan and default. I have seen another person take a 10 million naira loan and do not default, right? Same bank, same interest, in fact, same income. So what makes the difference? It's not the amount. It is not even about the interest rate. It is not even about how much you earn. It is whether you borrow strategically or emotionally. And today I am breaking down exactly how to tell the difference. So if you're thinking about taking a loan for business, for education, for lifestyle, for investment, stay with me. By the end of this video, you will have a framework to assess whether you are being strategic or just being hopeful. Real talk. So every day, I sit across the system and I look at various applications. And I'm looking at the application thinking, this is going to end badly. But here's the frustrating part. The numbers look fine. Good income, good credit history, the math works. So why not? We approve it. 6 months later, default. And you want to know, what the hell say when you call them? I didn't expect, I didn't think, I thought it would work out. Want a loan of 3 million naira for a business. And I'm like, oh, fine. No, you ask the usual question, you see the form, you ask the usual question when they drop in. What's this for? What do you expect? What's your expected monthly income? She has all the right questions. And I just asked a simple question. What if this income drops by 30%? And she looks at me like, are you crazy? Why would my income drop? God forbid, no, my business is going to always do well. Okay. And I just asked her, what if? Response now. I'll figure it out. This red flag. I will figure it out. It's not a plan. It is hope wearing a business suit. And hope, I always tell people, is not a strategy. Compare that to somebody else, right? He comes in and says, or this application drops and says, I come in for 10 million naira. And I ask this question, what if your income drops by 30%? And he says, oh, I'll cut down my expenses. I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E, F. If it takes longer, I will call for a restructuring. He has already done the mathematics. He has taken care of what can happen. That's the difference. So one person is hoping nothing goes wrong, and the other has thought through what happens if it does. And guess who is more likely to succeed? Yeah, right? So let's talk about bad debt, because I needed to understand. I am not anti-debt. I work in the lending industry, right? So I am not against debt, but I am anti-stupid debt. And stupid debt has specific patterns. It just has patterns. And here's what I say. There are like different type of patterns. But here are the things that I think makes a major difference when you borrow. The first one is, I'll figure it out later. No backup plan, no emergency savings, no alternative source of income, just vibes and prayers. Like, oh, that's gambling. The other part is borrowing because you want to impress people. This one, especially with this new iPhone 17 Pro Max, right? People take loans for wedding, for level up, for just to impress others. Those assets will always depreciate, except if you are using it to generate income. The wedding will come and go. The cars that you are buying to impress others will lose value. All those things will depreciate, and suddenly, you know what is happening? You are the one paying the repayment every single month. and you are paying because of a memory. Oh, I felt good when I did this. Then the third one is emotional decisions. I deserve this. I have worked very hard. Everybody's buying it. Why not me? In fact, it is true. Why not you? Buy it. But feelings are not good advisors, right? You'd reason, and buying things on emotion, it's not a strategy, right? The fourth one is you cannot survive a shock. Here's my favorite test. I ask myself, what if tomorrow my income drops by 30%? What's my plan? If I start to shake, if I cannot answer that question, it is simple. It's because income will come and go, life happens, God forbid. But if your plan only works when everything is perfect, it is not a plan. It's a fairy tale. You are living in a bubble, right? So the fifth one is no, right? What if? You think about a lot of what if. Never ask what if. What if the market changes? What if I just believe that I need this money now? Everything will work out fine. It doesn't, right? Right? Let's flip it. Let's flip it from what it means to borrow badly, the pattern. What does strategic debt look like? Because I approve loans every day. And there are some loans that I just see the bank I approve. No, because they can explain the return on investment. And then you ask them a simple question. This 2 million naira that you want to take, how do you want to make it work? Oh no, I have a training. Once I finish this training, my income will increase by 500x. Oh, if I buy this inventory with this money, my business will boom by 2x. They've done the mathematics. It is not a guesswork. Oh, so if I do this, this will happen. If I do this, this is what will happen. It's clear. It's crystal clear, and it's written down, right? They are not borrowing because they want to consume. They are borrowing to invest. I remember when I was earlier in my career, right? And I had to borrow. Right, I'm an advocate of, I told you I work in an NDFM, so I'm an advocate of borrowing. And there's something that happened that I had to borrow. So, I borrowed to write an exam, to pass the certification. I didn't pass, funny enough, I didn't pass the exam. But the learnings I had when I was writing the exam, right, I implemented that learning in my workplace. The results led to a promotion that led to my increment in salary. Right, so it's an investment in my career. That's how you borrow. You borrow strategically for you to be able to move on to the next stage. Your borrowing needs to be for either investment, either business expansion. You need to have an ROI, that's return on investment, on what you are borrowing for. How do you know if your decision is strategic? I have 5 questions that would give you like a guideline or honest answer. So the question 1, what's the best case scenario? If everything goes right, what happens? Be specific, write it down, use numbers. Don't just say, I hope my business would, don't just say my business will do well. My business will generate 20 million in revenue. Quantify it. The second question is, what is the worst case scenario? If everything goes wrong, what can happen? Will I survive? Can you survive it? I'll be fine, yeah. No. If everything goes wrong, I will need 6 months to recover. That's the worst case scenario. Write it down. Be specific about it. Question 3 is this. What has to stay true for this to work? List out all the assumptions. My income stays at 400k. The market, if there is no inflation, if I'm not sick, as we are married, if my partner's job is stable, this thing needs to stay true for everything to be fine. Write it down. Be specific, because those are your dependencies. If those things should go wrong, then something is going to happen with your debt, right? So question 4, what if these things don't stay true? Now stress test each assumption. Income drops to 280k from 400 to 280k. Can I still make repayment? How will I do it? If the market crash, if there's inflation, what will happen? If I get sick, do I have insurance? Is there someone that can cover up for me? Those are the things that you have to ask yourself. What will happen? How do I survive? Don't make assumptions. You're not gambling. So question 5, what is your exit strategy? If this goes sideways, how do I get out? Can I sell this thing? Can I restructure the loan? Can I downsize? Can I reduce my lifestyle? Will I survive? Always have an exit plan. If you can answer all these 5 questions clearly, please borrow. If you can't, please stay away from it. Here is where I tell you about my journal. I've been emphasizing write it down, but seriously, this framework, this question, the way you think about it, it is what I do every single day when I'm assessing loan, right? And I realized, how am I keeping this to myself? I can create a journal that helps communicate what all this is talking about, right? And it launches October 22nd, special day. So it's called 90 Days of Decision-Making Frameworks, not just for borrowing, it's for career, for life, for any big decisions. Because once you learn to assess risks professionally, you stop making decisions based on hope. You start making decisions based on data, based on facts. There's going to be a link in the description. But real talk, whether you buy the journal or not, once you use these 5 questions, they are free, they work, and they will save you from making irrational decisions.